Falcon fans, and of course, good old Falcon fans. You already know what it is. You already know what to do. One time for the fan. Shit, what? Episode 236, man. We back. Feeling good, feeling great. For everybody in here, ready to talk some Falcons football tonight. Apple Podcast, Spotify Podcast, Amazon Podcast, and these dirty ass ain'ts is on TV right now. Playing the 49ers. So, hate both teams, but we're going to talk some Falcons football here tonight. How's everybody doing? Hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Tag your Falcon friends. Tell your Falcons family. Jack Spade from One Time for the Fan. Big shout out to Kerry from One Time for the Fan. Big shout out to Chase. Big shout out to Bodie. Big shout out to T-Will here talking Falcons football. Always with us, but I guess tonight it might be myself. Everybody seems to be a little bit busy for the day, but that's good. That's good because with One Time for the Fan, you know, the chat is really about the show. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about. The chat really makes the show. It's from the fan. It's for the fan. So we're going to have a good time tonight talking some Falcons football. Chat is already live. Chat is already lit. Sean Coswell's in the chat. He said, who did Naughty by Nature not shout out in hip-hop hooray? Who did Naughty by Nature not shout out in hip-hop hooray? Deshaun with the music trivia. I'm going to tell you right now, I know the song. But I think you stumped me on this one. I'm trying to think of the lyrics right now. And then you got me on the spot trying to think of the lyrics. It's a live podcast. So people's in here. Come on, gash him. Down the sideline. Score. I want to see the 49ers beat these Aints. But yeah, you got me on the spot here, Deshaun. I don't know this one. I think you got me. I truly think you got me. For those in the chat, y'all know the answer to this question. Who did Naughty by Nature not shout out in hip-hop hooray? For those that know the answer to the question, go ahead and put it in the chat. Dwayne Ruffins checking in from the West Coast. He says it's going down in a major way. It is going down in a major way. Hashtag one-timers in the chat. Big shout out to everybody from the Rise Up Tour fan club too as well. Once again, happy birthday, Thomas Scott. Had a great time cooling with Thomas today for his birthday party up there at Vibes. So it was a great time being over there. Dwayne Ruffins says, going down in a major way. Simmons snagged that number 31, man. Man, we're going to talk about Simmons tonight. We're going to talk about Simmons tonight. We're going to talk about Simmons Wednesday. We're going to talk about Simmons Friday. We're going to talk about Justin Simmons all damn season because the Falcons made two really good moves over the week. I think every Falcon fan in this chat is not only shocked and surprised, but in a good way, shocked and surprised, right? So big shout out to the Tito's. We was up there sipping some Tito's, so I'm going to try to cool it down. I ain't got no Tito's tonight. Ain't no House of the Dragons tonight. We just cooling, man. OMT's in the chat with the one time. Big shout out to OMT. Big shout out to everybody in the chat. Always season ticket holders. If you're a season ticket holder in the chat, rep your section in the chat. All my season ticket holders, section 113, section 221, Harris Club. Rep your section in the chat. You never know. You could have your Falcon brother or sister in the chat here with you talking Falcons football too. And you don't even know it. So rep your section in the chat. Falcon fans looking to go on the road this season. We got some information for you too as well. Oh my gosh. Call the pass interference. Call the PI. Ain't third string out here trying to play. Falcon Commander. Good season. Good Sunday, August 18th, 2024. Evening. 5 days till final preseason game and 21 days till regular season opening day. Go Atlanta Falcons, rise up, Dirty Birds. Falcon fans, bring your questions, bring your comments to the chat. You know, we'll talk about it here on One Time for the Fan. The show's from the fan for the fan, so let's get to it. Jonte's in the chat. Fellas, what's good? I'm in the chat by myself here tonight. I'm on the podcast, just chilling, man. I don't know. T-Will might pop up. I haven't talked to T-Will today. I know we were talking some Falcon football in the chat, but I haven't talked to him about the podcast. But DA Hunter's in the chat. A few more Sundays to go, man. Let me tell you something. I'm ready. DA, I know you're ready. I know Falcon fans in the chat is ready. Season ticket holders are ready. People that love to travel is ready. People that's traveling to the Benz for their first time. People that's traveling on the road for their first time. Man, I'm telling you, like, the fan base as we know it before in the past is not the fan base that we see now. Like, we have grown, like, in crazy numbers. I'm sure a lot of you all, DA, I'm sure you see it on the road. You see what we do with the Rise of Tour fan club. But you see the numbers of the people that love to travel for these Atlanta Falcon games on the road. You see what the Benz is doing this year with season tickets being sold out, with tickets being at, priced, you know, pretty competitively across the league, but with other clubs and other teams. But if you look at the Falcons tickets for the Week 1 Steeler game, for those expecting tickets to drop, if those tickets just keep getting bought up at 460 and 460 or 470 and 380 and 390 for those prices, the next season ticket holder is going to put his tickets online for those same prices. So it's going to be tough to see a significant drop on game day to get those tickets. So big shout out to all the season ticket holders. But if you are going to the game Week 1 at the Benz, I know Coy Bishop. Big shout out to Coy. Coy mentioned that he was looking to give away some tickets to some games this year. So I will chop it up with Coy and see how Coy can arrange that for us here at One Time for the Fans. We can give away 2 tickets to a couple games this year. Coy has done it for us in the past. He's a diehard Atlanta Falcon fan and a season ticket holder. So big shout out to Coy Bishop in the chat. Big shout out to Karina Atkins too as well. I was hanging out with Karina earlier, talking some Falcons football and just hanging out, having a good time on a normal Sunday. Big shout out to Chantel in the chat too as well. I see you over there, Duchess. I see you. DSGB Hall's in the chat. What it do? Throwing those one-time emojis around. Big shout out to DSGB Hall. See, we got some spam comments in here. Wayne Dwayne's in the chat. What's up, family? Hashtag one time. Big shout out to Wayne Dwayne in the chat. Dutch is in the chat with the 134 DBN. Dirty Bird Ness is in the chat. Big shout out to Dirty Bird Ness. Karina Atkins, section 134 is in the chat. Deshaun says salt and pepper is the answer. Salt and pepper? So Naughty by Nature didn't shout out Salt and Pepper. Wasn't Trex dating the girl from Salt and Pepper? That's a crazy. I want to know the backstory with that. What's going on with that? Was there a beef or something? I didn't know much about that. I knew the song, growing up, and of course hearing it now, but didn't know much about why they didn't shout them out. John Taylor's in the show. I was expecting T Will to be on. Also, hey, if T Will shows up, we'll see. I'll give him a call here in a second. T Will has done a great job here at One Time for the Fan. Carrie too as well. Everybody that you've seen here at One Time for the Fan. Of course, what Chase has done with DFU, and you see what he's doing over there with Dirty Fanatics United. So big shout out to Chase. Come on, get him. Come on. But One Time for the Fan, we have grown too as well, just like the Falcon fan base over the years. Recently hitting 1,000 subscribers. So I want to thank you all for being here. He must be hungover from yesterday. He was definitely having a good time at the content creator meetup. Big shout out to Big Low Country Sports and Uncle Steve and everybody else who put that together. I got there late, man. I was taking care of some stuff with my son with football and everything, and I got there late, so I was able to watch the end of the fourth quarter, or pretty much like the 5-minute mark. So it was good to see a lot of the Falcon fans out there. Wait, Chris Olave is playing for the Aints right now, and Jamal, they have their starters in. So the Aints have their starters in. And we're going to talk about that here tonight with some Falcons football, because the Falcons didn't play a lot of their starters. But as you can see the title of this show, we're so close to building the 53-man roster. And when I show you this list in a minute of the amount of starters that did not play for the Atlanta Falcons, it's going to show you that we're getting really close to that 53-man roster. So big shout out to the Atlanta Falcons for, coming away from what I see with a lot of players healthy. Playing the game against the Ravens over the weekend. So we'll talk about that shortly. Karina Atkins said, I love traveling to see my Falcons. Man, I tell you, Falcon fans that love to travel, we have a lot going on with the Rise Up Tour fan club. So I'll be posting some information shortly if you guys want to be a part of it. If you guys going to New Orleans this year, if you're going to Carolina this year, if you're going to Tampa this year, if you're going to a lot of these other away games, we have a lot of events and some things going on. So come on out, have a good time. Want to make sure Falcon fans are, enjoying themselves on the road. D.A. Hunter said, more Falcon fans are definitely traveling more now. I mean, for those that went to London last year, for those that went to London, and if y'all in here in the chat that went to London, put a 1 in the chat. But if y'all went to the party that we threw in London, put a 2 in the chat real quick. I just want to see, because the party that we threw in London was crazy. And what D.A. Hunter is saying, that was an international game. So it's we're traveling 8-9 hours for this game. A lot of people who travel from all over the world went out to London for this game. And we did lose against the Jags, but the experience we had leading up to the game was just, unforgettable. So I'm glad everybody had a good time at our party. And for those that do not know, that party was pretty much a random pop-up party. We decided we didn't want to do one because it was London. We didn't want to touch London with the Rise of Tour fan club. But we had our good friend Darren, who's our ambassador out there in London, in Manchester, and he was able to arrange some things for us. And we put the flyer out Friday, Saturday. Flyer went kind of crazy. Party started around like 8:39 London time. We had like almost like 400 people in there. So it was great to see everybody having a good time. And I'm sorry about my voice too as well, because I was having a good time over the weekend. So yelling with the whole football thing with my son and everything too as well. So for everybody in the chat, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Carlton Bunch said, "What's up? One time for the fan. New defense is going to be fire." Carlton Bunch, I'm going to send you a message. I'm going to send you a PM after this podcast, man. I got something for you too as well, man. Big shout out to Carlton Bunch. He's a diehard Atlanta Falcon fan, and of course a diehard fan of One Time for the Fan too as well. So Carlton, gotta get you right. Gotta get you right before the season starts. Jeremiah Weems, Falcons fan, season almost here. Carlton Bunch, matter of fact, what games are you going to this year, Carlton Bunch? If you're in the chat, what game are you going to this year? Let me know, bro. Dave, big shout out to Dave. Dave's been with us back when One Time for the Fan was like back at 10 subscribers, right? And I want to give a big shout out to Dave. He's been rocking with us for a long time. He's also, once again, a diehard Atlanta Falcon fan. And he knows what this team is about, right? A lot of fans in this chat are a lot of the positive fans. They know that this team, get him. Damn, man. That boy Derek Carr looking. Man, I'm trying to see San Francisco put that hammer on them. But yeah, man, we got a lot of fans in the chat been rocking with us since day one. So I want to give a big shout out to everybody who's been here supporting One Time for the Fan, because all we do is just talk Falcons football. So it's a cool place for fans to come vent about the Falcons in a positive way. We don't want to deal with the negative comments and the negative behavior. Because you see that all day on social media, from when the team loses and the quarterback didn't do well and this guy, and I don't want to hear that. We already know that stuff's going to happen. Let's talk about the positive stuff, because we're trying to get us a Super Bowl, right? We all want to win. Everybody in this chat wants a Super Bowl, right? We all can agree, right? Michael's in the chat with the one time, the fire emojis. Big shout, Michael. Carla Wiggins in the chat. I'm still trying to make this Raiders game work with my son's schedule. Differences got me still all over the place. I can tell you now, as one who, deals with the Rise Up Tour fan club and helps fans, get on the road to some of these away games and deals with traveling and stuff, that the Vegas hotel prices, you could stay further away from the strip for a cheaper price, but those areas are not like the best areas in Vegas. Or if you stay on the strip, it's a little bit of a ticket. But the plane prices, the Delta flights and the Southwest flights right now they're going up. So he picked that. Oh, I'm about to say, they're going up. So just, plan wisely. I wouldn't wait till November when the Falcons are winning and they're, 7-3 or, 9-2. And then you start to try to plan for Vegas. That ticket's going to be crazy. But we got the party too as well in Vegas. We got the events going on. So I'll post that here shortly for everybody who's heading to Vegas. I'm already booked. I'm there from Thursday to Tuesday. We're at the MGM Grand too as well. So any Falcon fan looking for some hotels, we're at the MGM Grand. Usually we do the Rise Up Tour host hotel. We're not doing the fan club host hotel in Vegas. We just pretty much pick the hotel. So MGM Grand, if y'all Falcon fans want to stay there, we got a lot of people who's already booked rooms. But we're at the MGM Grand in Vegas. Big shout out to Arizona too as well. Been drinking Arizona for fucking years. Big shout out to Carla Wiggins. Michael, our defense is insane in Madden. Man, I've been on that NCAA so tough, man. I tell you the truth, I played Madden like maybe once. But I'm gonna get back on it shortly. I know them leagues getting ready to start up. I'll get back on it once the update hits. Because I really don't feel like playing this beta shit right now. And it feels kind of slow too as well. 95 North Falcons Falcon Show. One time for the fan. What's happening? Big shout out to Berto. NIL Berto. They got that song for Smitty. Yellow Bone Smitty. What country be singing? NIL Berto. Y'all seen Berto on NCAA? Go to the creative player section. Go over to like the second page where you change like the facial features of like the player. And you'll go to like page 3, 4, I think it's like page 5. And then like the fourth row, you'll see Birdo. I might even have to find the picture, see if I can get a picture and put it up here so y'all can see. Dave's in the chat. I know it is not your deal, but I would like to support the podcast because I know you guys travel to road games. Yes, so the Wednesday podcast, we'll have the get it. Yeah, there you go. Back them up on the goal line. There we go. Wednesday podcast, the YouTube partner program will be set up and everything. I know we just hit 1,000 subscribers. I've been on like in and out the house doing so much away from my phone, away from doing things that's one time for the fan. Of course, you guys know what Rise Up to our fan club. The season's getting ready to start, so we're wrapping up everything to make sure things are in place, and that thing takes a lot of time too as well. But of course, my one time for the fan family, we're always going to do the best we can to make sure everybody's having a good time, right? So I know you guys enjoy the content here. I know you guys enjoy being Falcon fans, and we definitely want to bring you as much content as we can. But yes, Dave, Wednesday, everything will be set up Wednesday, so you'll be good to go if you want to support the channel too as well. And Dave, come out to a home game, come out to a away game, man. Let's hang out, man. A lot of people has hung with us on the road. We had a content creator meetup over the weekend too as well, so a lot of fans showed up to that. Today we was at Thomas Scott's birthday party, so a lot of fans that know us from the Rise Up Tour fan club and just the podcast, it's a Falcon vibe, man. It's just the energies. It's a positive energy. It's a positive vibe. It's that fan that just stands up on third downs. Like it's like that type of vibe. Come on, get him. There you go. Let's go, man. Uncle Steve's lounge in the building. What's going on, brother? I kept that honey lemon tea on standby during my son's football games. Trust me. I will say, man, I see now what the parents are talking about when you got a kid that plays football. Standing on the sidelines, yelling and screaming, like, cheering them on. But then again, it's also coaching them too, right? So it's like certain things that his coach might be dealing with other players. And of course, he's playing outside linebacker and defensive end. So he's kind of, oh, there we go. Fourth down. It should have been PI though. But he's playing a position where, a lot of things that we've worked on over the summer, he's looking at me like, and I'm like, zone. Like cover two man. So I'm helping him on certain things. But he's an honor student. So as a 7th grader, he's doing well. But he'll be all right, man. But I can see what Uncle Steve's talking about. I know a lot of these parents are talking about. A football parent, yeah, that's some real deal stuff right there. Then you get to the games. I know them parents like, don't hit my baby. Don't hit my baby. I could probably see those moments right there. But my son would be the one doing the hit. So, big shout out to him too as well. And he's in the gym. He's in that weight room too. So for a 7th grade, he's trying to bulk up. But he's got the Jason Pierre-Paul, like OC Europe type of build. Like he's real tall, slender, but he's quick on the swim moves and stuff. I was telling Country about that. But big shout out to everybody in the chat. Jeremiah Weems said Eddie Goldman and Grady Jarrett. Oh, we're gonna talk about that here shortly. Terrell Johnson said, "Rise up, bro." Dave said, "Thank you for the info." Big shout out to Dave in the chat. A1 Forever got a chance to link up with A1 Forever again. Man, like the 3rd time me and A1 Forever is out there having drinks and chilling, watching Falcons football, man, talking Falcons football. So big shout out to A1 Forever. See you in here with the emojis too as well. Carl Thomas is in the chat with the best defense on paper since '98. I must say that this is one hell of a team that you're looking at right now. If you're not getting the 2016 vibes from looking at this team, well, shit, it was 2024. So I just want to just throw that in there. Eric Harrison is in the chat. Shout out to Eric Harrison, man. What's up, man? He said, if we move Caden to outside linebacker, sign trade for linebacker 2 or 3, and start Nate and Troy, our pass rush defensive line will be out of this world. Also, Caden at outside linebacker, guard, and tight ends, running backs is still very good. I think Matthew Judon is going to take up a lot of that boatload on what you see on the outside, and Arnold Ebiketie. Your zone coverage linebackers, I think, and your run support should be Lorenzo Carter, if he's going to be the 53. Matter of fact, let's get straight to it because I want Falcon fans to know what we're talking about here. Over the weekend, of course, the Falcons played the Ravens, right? And, of course, they did come away with a loss. But there's some things we have to talk about. And I want Falcon fans to see this. Look at all these players that did not dress out for the game against the Ravens. Notice the title of the show, how close we are to building this 53. Count these players, Falcon fans. Help me count them up, right? Lorenzo Carter, Mooney, Bates, London, Robinson, Pitts, Penix, Hodge, Arnold Ebiketie, Kirk Cousins, D. Alford, Team Glow. Shout out Team Glow. Somebody go to Twitter and tag D. Alford, please. Tag D. Alford and say, yo, one time for the fan is over here talking good about you. Tag D. Alford. He'll probably pull up to the chat. He's cool as hell. D. Alford, Team Glow. Mike Hughes, Clark Phillips, DeMarco Helms, AJ Terrell, Tyler Algier, Dane Cruikshank. That name right there is surprising to see that he didn't dress out for the game against the Ravens. Is he going to be taking over the spot for Michael Abernathy? Falcon fans, we're going to talk about this here shortly. Antonio Hamilton Sr., Ray McLeod, Troy Anderson, Nate, Caden Ellis, Chris Lindstrom, Matthew Bergeron, your whole offensive line, Drew Dahlman, your starting offensive line, Jake Matthews, Kelly McGarry, tight end Ross Dwelly, Charlie Warner, David Amiata, Catavia Street, Tyquan Graham, Zach Harrison, Grady Jarrett, Eddie Goldman, and Matthew Judon. Falcon fans, do you see that this is possibly a lot of your 53 right here? These are possibly the guys who's already on the 53. Now, there's a couple names I'm sure Falcon fans will say, no way Eddie Goldman is on that list. No way. They didn't see enough of Eddie Goldman to say he made the 53. He didn't play against the Ravens. I don't think none of these guys were out here barring injury. These might be the guys who is already on the 53. How many players is this? 37 players? 40 players? How many players? Let's see here. Come on, Falcon fans. Let's talk about it in the chat. Carter's out. Mooney was out. Bates was out. London, Robinson. You know they're on the 53. We know Pitts and Penix is on the 53. So Hodge is there. D. Alford is there. Mike Hughes, Clark Phillips, Dane Cruikshank is there on the 53. If he doesn't dress out Friday, is he on that 53? That roster cut is coming up in a couple days after that Jaguars game. Antonio Hamilton Sr., some surprising names for you all. Ross Dwelly, no John Fitzpatrick here. No Avery Williams, no Jace, no Carlos Washington. The players that you saw play to try to battle for a spot on this team. I know some people say, yes, it's the injury bug. That is true. Could be the injury bug. But a lot of people have been talking about this is a lot of the players from the 53 right here. So it's already being built, Falcon fans. And we're one game away from the end of preseason. Falcons and Jags Friday. But let's go to your linebacker room, right? Carter was out. We know Carter's on the 53, right? Troy Anderson, Nate Landman, Caden Ellis, right? We know they're on the 53. Mooney's on there, right? We know that. Jesse's on there. Jake's on there. We know that. Penix is on there. They just released James Washington today. So are they going to run with Drake London, Mooney, Ray McLeod, Hodge, Casey Washington? That's the 5. If they run with the 6, who's the 6th receiver? Are they going to sign a guy? Do Falcon fans think they're going to bring in somebody soon if they go with a 6th receiver? Is Josh Ali or Chris Blair going to take the spot if they go with a 6th receiver? Come on, Falcon fans. We're talking Falcons football here. Let's see what we got. Dave's in the chat. Really need for Rook and Brand to contribute on that D-line. And, of course, another step for Harrison as the season progresses. Man, to see Rook get that sack, that was a bully sack too. That's what hold on. That's what the Falcons saw when the fans didn't see it coming out of the draft, when it was like, we need to go ahead and get the kid from Texas, right? We need to go ahead and get, I forget a couple more names that they were mentioning. But when we went for Rook, they was like, Rook from Clemson? What? But like fans have mentioned, and like, other podcasters have mentioned, I mean, journalists talked about it too. Rook rated super high on that RAS score for a defensive lineman. I think like career high for a defensive lineman. So the Falcons saw that. They brought in the guy that they know can contribute to this defense. They saw what Grady Jarrett did from Clemson in the later rounds where they selected him. Went ahead and got Rook early. But you saw Rook's power. You saw Rook's physical ability yesterday to get to the quarterback in a dominating fashion. And we'll see more of that this year because you're going to line them up next to Dorless. You're going to line them up next to Grady. You're going to line them up next to Judon. A lot of coverage sacks this year. A lot of team sacks this year. Don't have to be just straight up 6-7 man blitzes. Don't have to be that. It could be a lot of coverage sacks this year. Big shout out to Ricky Smith in the chat. He said, man, what's happening? One time for the fan. Big shout out to Ricky Smith in the chat. Real Talk Sports said, wow. Oh, yeah, let's go ahead and get it, man. Big shout out to Real Talk Sports in the chat. Had to do it at least once, right? We ain't got to blow the whistle. Terry's not here with the donkey comment, so we don't have to blow the whistle. It's this guy tagging me in this NCAA league trying to get smacked up. William Amy, what's good, Jack Spade? Big shout out to William Amy. William Amy drove from Savannah to come out and see content creators and other Falcon fans and watch the Falcons game over the weekend. So big shout out to William Amy. A lot of Falcon fans are in the chat that love talking Falcons football. And of course, William Amy is one of them. So Falcon fans, you'll definitely be seeing William Amy talking Falcons football from time to time here on One Time for the Fan. Carl Thomas said, who you think is going to start at CB2? Mike Hughes. I think it's Mike Hughes. I think you're going with AJ Terrell, Mike Hughes, D. Alford, Clark Phillips, Antonio Hamilton, and possibly if you run that 6, it's going to be Kevin King. Unless you make some move this week. You saw Stephen Gilmore I think he went to the Vikings for $10 million. I'm glad we didn't make that move. Eric Harrison says, scared of injuries, man. Hey, I'm glad some of these starters sat out because these are the guys that we're going to need going forward to help take this team over the top. And the injury bug hit us early. Y'all were here on One Time for the Fan. We kept talking about Rondale Moore. We kept talking about DeMarco Helms. And, we talk about a lot of these players a lot of times, man. We really just enjoy, bringing positivity to the fan base about these players. But when Trice went down, that was tough. When Rondale Moore went down, that was tough. When DeMarco Helms went down, that was tough. So I'm glad the Falcons made this move to not bring out a lot of these starters this week. Eric Harrison said, I really understand the choices are come out better ready for game 1 and play risk injury and meaningless games, or possibly come out week 1 and 2 flat, but at least have a full squad. Yeah, I do think that this 53 is ready to go. Like, if you know Grady and offensive line, if you have your full 100 supportive team out there that's going to be out there playing against the Pittsburgh Steelers, we should go out there and beat the Steelers, right? If that injury report is racked up, then it's going to be crazy trying to go out there and beat them. But the Steelers haven't been doing so well either in camp and at preseason. So we'll talk about that in just a minute. But big shout out to Eric Harrison in the chat. Jonte is in the chat. He said Chris Blair would be the 6th receiver. A lot of fans were cheering on Chris Blair over the weekend for Falcons-Ravens game. It's possible that Chris Blair could be the 6th receiver, right? Especially with them releasing James Washington today, right? So Ricky Smith in the chat said, what we're going to do, Jack, we're going to have a good time, man. We're going to enjoy this season. We're going to fucking win the division. We're going to make it to the playoffs. We're going to make a nice little run. And if we do get to the Super Bowl, I hope everybody's there. Now, there are places in New Orleans you can stay that's not near the French Quarter. If you want to stay in the French Quarter, so I'm giving everybody Super Bowl tips. Because if the Falcons go to the Super Bowl, I'm definitely there. You don't have to ask me twice. But you can stay in Mississippi and drive into New Orleans if those prices are going to be too high. You can stay in Baton Rouge and drive into New Orleans if those prices are going to be too high. So there's different ways you can work it out. But I know some Falcon fans that already booked for some rooms in New Orleans for Super Bowl, because New Orleans is the place that's, it's a party atmosphere. And let's just say the Falcons do make it, then you booked ahead of time. But let's just say the Falcons don't make it. You still can go to New Orleans and party. The problem is New Orleans, especially with the French Quarter, like, it's not that big in a sense. So the amount of people that's going to be in New Orleans for Super Bowl, like, Denny's is going to be crazy. Felix's is going to be crazy. The casino is going to be crazy. Everywhere from the riverfront to the mall, every restaurant's going to be crazy. So it's going to be kind of hard to, like, it's not like it's LA where it's spaced out. You go to New Orleans, everybody's going to the French Quarter. That's where everything's at. That's where the stadium's at. That's the party vibes. How many people do you know say, hey, we're partying in New Orleans, and they go away from the French Quarter, right? So keep that in mind, too, for fans going to New Orleans for the game. Too as well. I do think the Falcons possibly would make a move for a wide receiver if it's not Chris Blair. Seeing the moves that Raheem and Terry made over the past couple of days shows me that they're not scared to go get a guy who's available, and they do have some free agents that is available right now that could possibly still fit the Falcon scheme of what they want to do. So keep that in mind too as well, Falcon fans. Ricky Smith said, speak on it. Man, we're all here just talking Falcons football. Eric Harrison, Third Party Action, is in the chat. Third Party Action had a chance to meet him too as well over the weekend. Big shout out to Third Party Action, man. Falcon fans who enjoyed the One Time for the Fan podcast, our Sunday shows at 8, our Wednesday shows at 8, our Friday morning shows, pop-up shows every now and then. We have a lot of special guests that's also been on the channel too as well. We got more special guests coming up this week. We got Senior Executive Chef Matt, who's coming up this week. And we're working on something big right now with One Time for the Fan. And, of course, what he's got going on too as well. So we're always trying to bring new content, always trying to bring that new flavor for all Falcon fans to see, hey, One Time for the Fan. These guys are pretty cool. And girls too as well, because, Carrie's with us. So big shout out to Carrie. Timothy Harris in the chat. He said, I see 50 sacks. Hey, man, if you see 50 sacks, I see 60 sacks. That's the type of fan I am. I agree with you, Timothy Harris. If it's not 50 sacks, though, would you be upset if the Falcons don't hit 42 sacks this year? Falcon fans, let me ask you a question in the chat. You see Timothy Harris' comment. Would you be upset if the Falcons don't hit 42 sacks this year, but they make the playoffs? Would you be upset if the Falcons don't hit 42 sacks this year, but they make the playoffs? Some fans are worried about no Ryan Nielsen, no Bud Dupree, no Calais Campbell. I understand the addition of Matthew Judon and Justin Simmons does bolster your defense. But there are some fans that are still saying, without that defensive coordinator, without Ryan Nielsen, without that program we had from last year, how is it going to work? Some fans are, feeling worried and concerned about that. So we can talk about it here in the chat. Carl Thomas says secondary is the strength of the defense, but they got to extract the hell out of CB2. So there's going to be a lot of teams targeting CB2. The same thing I told, it's funny. It's the same thing I told my son the other day. He was out there playing football. He's a 7th grader going up against a lot of the 8th graders. And all the 8th graders are like some of the taller kids. And I could see that the quarterback was trying to target my son's side of, him playing linebacker because he had, taller kids that they were playing down there in coverage and zone coverage. So I was like, hey, just be prepared for that quarterback to try to target some of these bigger guys. So they will target a situation where if Mike Hughes somehow ends up on DK Metcalf, you best believe that they're going to try to target that a lot, right? They're going to try to target Mike Evans on those mismatches. And if you think about it, look at the other wide receivers. We got the kid, Pickens from Pittsburgh. Who else we got? I think Hollywood Brown is out for the Steelers, for the Chiefs game. I don't know about Rashee Rice too as well, what his situation is. Eagles, we have a matchup out there in Philadelphia where AJ is going to have his hands full and, Mike Hughes is going to have his hands full too as well with Devontae Smith and AJ Brown. Like, a lot of y'all play fantasy. See, I know some of these guys too as well. I don't play much fantasy, but I do know these players that play on some of these teams. Sure, we can say they suck and this and that, but they have some players out there on a lot of these teams we got to watch for. Even when we played with the Steelers, we haven't mentioned TJ Watt yet, right? We got to block TJ Watt. We got to get a hand on him, right? They got a couple more players on defense we got to watch for, right? I think they just brought over the guy from Baltimore too as well. So that's something to look at, right? So Falcon fans, a lot of these teams have improved in some areas and some of these teams haven't improved in some areas. And I want Falcon fans to see this because this is a tough situation that the Steelers are in, right? Pull this up here. The Steelers played both Russell Wilson and Justin Fields at quarterback for the game, right? And they only scored 3 points. They threw for a total of 139 yards combined. Majority of their starters did play too as well from the Pittsburgh offense. There is a problem going on in Pittsburgh right now that you see what's going on in Atlanta. Kirk and Penix is your 1 and 2. The Steelers with Arthur Smith, with that offense, they still don't know what the fuck they're doing right now. And I don't want to discredit Mike Tomlin because he's a good coach. But you brought in Arthur Smith after what he's done here in Atlanta. You made the move to go get Russell Wilson. You made the move to go get Justin Fields. And right now, I think Justin Fields starts week 1 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. The injury I believe Russell Wilson has too is I think he has like an ankle or a calf injury. Plus, he's been stinking it up at camp. Justin Fields hasn't been doing no better either. But from the hype that I've been hearing, and I'm not somebody that's in Steelers camp, so don't go say, Jack, what do you know? I'm not in Steelers camp. But the hype from what I've been hearing is that Justin Fields will probably be the starter. I know a couple of Steelers fans that's been to their camps too as well. It's like, yeah, we need Justin Fields as the starter. So Kirk Cousins still going to put up 300 on them. Doesn't matter. 4 touchdowns apiece. Go Kirk. Kirk Frost. Usually this is the part where Terry does the dance when we say Kirk Frost. Don't let him score. But Falcon fans, we're having a good time tonight talking Falcons football. I know the chat is live. I know the chat is lit. 12-5 this year, William Amy says. It's going down in a major way. Lisa Shepard said double-digit wins this season, y'all. Hey, Falcon fans. You hear what Lisa Shepard said? You hear what Lisa Shepard just said? Double-digit wins this season. When was the last time we had double-digit wins? Take me back, Falcon fans. Should we go back to the past? Double-digit wins. Knowing that feeling around week 13, 14 that you're going to the playoffs. Who wants that feeling back again? I know you guys do. I want that feeling back again. I want that feeling to know, God, why I stand on this shit. I want that feeling back again this year to know that around week 14, week 15, I need to get my playoff tickets ready. That feeling when we played the Packers back in 2016. For those in the chat that was at that party we had, if you're here, big shout out to Mike, big shout out to everybody else at the party. For those in the chat, if y'all would have seen what would happen, damn, the Aints just scored. Shit. For those in the chat that do not know, when the Falcons were playing the Packers for that NFC Championship game, you kind of knew that the game was over going into that second half. Pretty much one more touchdown, 2 more touchdowns like the nail in the coffin. One more touchdown was like, hey, we putting icing on the cake on these jokers. But to see everybody in the room that was with me get on their phones and book hotels in Houston. My friend, he's over there on the computer looking up RVs. I said, what the fuck you doing? He said, I'm looking up an RV. I said, an RV? He said, yeah, we can all pile up in the RV and go to Houston. What? I had just bought a new car. It had like less than like 1,000 miles on it. I said, yo, I'm driving to Houston, dog. 12 hours. I didn't give a damn if it was fucking 29 hours. I want to go see my Falcons play. I want that feeling again. I think it's going to happen this year. I stand on this shit. Week 13, week 14, y'all going to be here talking about some Jack. Y'all going to Vegas? Y'all going to Vegas? Yeah, we're going to Vegas. We're going to the playoffs too. Kirk can do it. Raheem can do it. Something about this team. I'm telling y'all, Falcon fans, it's something about this team. Big shout out to all the Falcon fans in the chat. Big shout out to the Falcons too as well. A couple of the players restructured their contracts to bring in Matthew Judon and Justin Simmons. The players agree. You hear Jesse Bates talking about it. You hear Grady talking about it. Come on, Falcon fans. This shit's about to go down in a major way. Eric Harrison said, Antonio Hamilton, CB2, he is good enough. I don't make the call, but I guarantee you, be here for that 53-man roster drop that they're going to do. I think it comes out Tuesday after the Jaguars game. We'll be live. We're going to talk about it. Is it Antonio Hamilton at CB2? Is it going to be him, on the depth chart? Is it Kevin King? Don't forget that pick from Kevin King. But both of them have been playing decent. Natron Brooks. I know y'all been going crazy on Natron Brooks. He's having that D. Alford moment right now. When D. Alford was trying out for the team, when Falcon fans were going crazy, saying, yo, who is that kid? Get him out there on the Falcons. He needs a number. Sure enough, Falcon fans were calling it since camp. I remember being on the Hill. I was one to call it too about D. Alford. You can see the talent. You can see the skill. He can play the game well. And soon it's time to pay D. Alford. Y'all think about that? This ain't a guy that's like AJ. This ain't a guy that was drafted, up there in the first round. Nah, man. D. Alford been grinding, bro. D. Alford been working hard to be where he's at. And for Falcon fans here this year, you see how far D. Alford has came so far. Y'all need to be out there on Team Glow, man. Keep repping Team Glow. Because right now, that joker balling, dog. That joker balling. He could have left. Could have went to a different team. Raheem knows what he got with D. He knows what he got with Clark. What they call it now? The crash out crew? Falcon fans, what y'all think about that? They call it the crash out crew. That's the defense. The crash out crew. Crash out is what they're using now. That's one of the words. Go ask some of y'all parents in the chat that got kids in high school or young kids coming up. Go ask them about that crash out. Everybody talking about that crash out. Just a word people just use nowadays. Crash out. So they the crash out crew. Tay Bro's in the chat with the playoffs. Welcome, Tay Bro. That's what I want to hear. Playoffs. Smooth C in the chat. Ricky Smith in the chat. Man, I got to get up on that Rise Up tour for sure. Next year, though, Jack. You can, if you go into an away game this year, you can get on it too as well. We are accepting memberships for next year. For any new member right now, we're accepting membership. It goes for next year. I mean, we might be able to get you. Shit, I don't even have it with me. Might be able to get you the lanyard, but I don't, the shirt you can buy from the store. You want to support the Rise Up Tour fan club, you can buy the shirt, you can buy the flags. You know what I'm saying? We outside this season. When you go to those games this year, home or away, you might see this in the crowd. You might see a lot of these in the crowd. There's a lot of them that we sold. You might see that Rise Up Tour fan club. You be seeing that junk in Vegas. You be seeing that junk in Minnesota. Right there on the wall. Roll one shit. Right here, doing this. Giving them hell. I'm a diehard fan, man. Don't play with me. That's what we do. But yeah, you can get the Rise Up Tour fan club, man. We still, any away game you're going to, we got you. Just let us know. Met some fans yesterday, earlier today, playing golf. Falcon fans, so they're going to be on the road too as well. Matter of fact, one of them been to our party. He was at our party in Detroit last year. He was like, oh, ain't y'all the ones that, oh man, I didn't even know that was y'all. A lot of people been to our parties, don't even know it's us. I mean, they see all the, the branding of it. But, some people just show up and just think it's just a Falcons party. It is, but it's the Rise Up Tour fan club too as well. Jack, I'm late, but where is T. Will? He's still taking care of those panels on the side, man. We just put up some shingles. He's taking care of them shingles, man. Terry got a new job now. Trying to pay for that ticket to New Orleans. I think he out there with Bodie too. Big shout to Ricky Smith in the chat. Joseph Avery's in the chat. Hey, Jack. I see his top 10 on offense and defense. Well, that's a playoff team. I mean, if you're top 10 on offense and defense and you don't make the playoffs, well, shit. That's crazy. That's crazy. I definitely see if you're top 10 offense and defense, you're definitely going to the playoffs. Hell, we was one sack away from the playoffs last year and wasn't top 10 offense defense. Crash out crew, I like it. Ricky Smith is in the chat. Karina Atkins said, you will not be sorry joining the Rise Up Tour fan club. Karina Atkins travels to a lot of away games with us too as well. Big fan of the Atlanta Falcons, and of course, Rise Up Tour fan club member too as well. But Karina knows from the events that we put on in the past, from what we do, we enjoy having a good time with Falcon fans, right? When the Cowboys come here, all right, let me get real with y'all, right? Talk some shit to y'all. When the Cowboys come here this year, you're gonna see a shit ton of Cowboy fans. You're gonna wonder where all these Cowboy fans come from. A lot of them are in fan groups, not like Falcons 2.0 and like Falcons Unleashed. No, they're in fan club groups like Star Gang, right? Like C&D All Stars, like real fan club groups. And they're in there deep by the numbers, by the thousands. They got like 3 different chapters in Georgia of Cowboy fans. They all meet up, they have parties, all that shit. So when they meet up with all their other groups, they show up in numbers. Same for the Steelers. Same for the 49ers. A lot of these teams have those fan clubs. So when you see what we do at the Rise Up Tour fan club, a lot of the diehard fans that you see, like even with the Bucks fans, like Crew Life, like when you see some of them, they know who the Rise Up Tour fan club is. When we go to Minnesota and we deal with the Vikings group, they know who we are. Right? When we go to Denver and we deal with them, they know who we are. Any city we do this because there's fan clubs that always reach out to us. We're hosting a party this year with another fan club of another group that's doing a game here in Atlanta because they reached out to us because they know this is our city because they're coming in town from another city. But they have a lot of people here. That Giants group, y'all know there's a New York Giants fan club of Atlanta. They're deep as shit too. Like y'all got to know, like this is like sometimes it's way bigger than people just buying single game tickets. There's like real deal fan groups behind this stuff, and they show up in numbers. Next year, we play the 49ers in San Fran. Look at Fox right now. Look at the 49ers. Look at their stadium. A lot of that Bang Bang Niner game, they have different groups underneath that Bang Bang Niner game. I've talked to them. Right? So Falcon fans, this is just a little, quick little tidbit for you all. So you guys can see what's going on. Ricky Smith said, "Word, that's crazy." Karina Atkins said, "Where fans become family." That's definitely what the Rise Up Tour fan club is about. Ricky Smith said, my pops is a Cowboy. Just gave him hell yesterday. Yeah, man, those Cowboy fans, they're going to be in the bins this year. I got Cowboy fans hitting me up for tickets. Man, Jack, come on, man. Tell your people, sell them. Tell your people, get a discount. Okay, I know some of these guys for years. But I'm not going to get – and here's the thing. I've known these guys for years. They're Cowboys fans. They're coming here from Dallas for the game. But I'm not going to get Falcon fans to sell their tickets to these guys. I don't care how long I've known them. I told them, I said, you guys need to go online to Ticketmaster and pay the ticket, pay the price. Like, come on, man. No, you can get the – no, it's not happening. Right? It's not happening. So if I had tickets to sell and a Steelers fan hit me up and said, hey, can I buy your 2 tickets? No. He's like, man, I pay you double. No. I'm selling to Falcon fans. Like, that's what I would do. So that's just who I am, though. Other Falcon fans would be like, shit, I'll take it. Give me the 700. All right, cool. But not me. Falcon fans in the chat, Carl Thomas, Cowboys fans like that everywhere. They have winning cultures way back from the 80s and the 90s. Yes, those alumni teams are pretty deep in numbers. Packers, Jets. A lot of these teams have been around for a long time, but like some of these fan bases, like they really have grown with the fan club movement, right? So the Niners group is pretty deep. The Bills Mafia group is pretty deep, and they have some other groups under that too as well. But you'll see it from time to time, Falcon fans. Matter of fact, you'll see it week 1 against the Steelers. There's probably going to be people in there with their Pittsburgh. I forget what it's called. It's Pittsburgh something of Atlanta. They'll probably have those flags in there because they're deep as hell, right? For those that went to the cookout we had earlier this year, they were out there too as well, right? So the Seattle Seahawks group, the 12 groups of Atlanta was out there too as well. There's fan clubs everywhere, right? Every sport has that. Soccer has that. Baseball has that, right? The Hawks have it, right? It's everywhere. Karina Atkins, the Steelers fans had the building full, and it was just preseason yesterday. Yeah, did you see that? That was crazy. So be prepared for a lot of Steeler fans showing up to the Benz. And don't forget, a lot of the season tickets being sold out too, as well as a lot of those corporations buying tickets too, because they know it's going to be a money season. They got the Cowboys, they got the Chiefs Sunday night, they got the Bucks Thursday night, right? It's a money season for them, right? So they know that they can make some bread or a couple dollars off some of these games. So you might even see, if you're sitting in 119 row 3, seat 4 and 5, and you look to your right, week 1, and you see 2 Steeler fans there. And then the following week, you come back against the Chiefs, you see 2 Chiefs fans there. Then the next week, you see 2 Bucks fans there. Well, those are not those are season ticket holders who put them online at Ticketmaster, or it could be those corporations giving away to those people. So you never know. But I know me as a diehard Falcon fan, I'll be where I need to be before that when that game starts. Just best believe that. Chat is live. Chat is lit. Let's get to some more stuff here. We just went over some of these players. I think it's like 37 or 40 players that did not play. So they still have a couple more spots left to go before they get this 53-man roster out. Falcons, Jags on Friday. So that's going to be interesting to see, right? We'll be back on Wednesday night to talk about that. We'll be back on Friday morning with Chef Matt too as well before the game to talk about that. Now, one thing I do want to mention, this was actually pretty cool here, Falcon fans. Remember the other day when we talked about how Falcon fans were trying to get information about where Justin Simmons was during the day and if he's going to be a Falcon, and they're following his Instagram, and his Instagram followers are Grady Jarrett, and he just followed Matt Ryan or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but some fans have pointed out that Justin Simmons was following this designer, right? And he was wearing this suit that fans had saw on Instagram. They was like, yo, this designer apparently makes suits for Falcon players, and this has to mean Justin Simmons is coming to Atlanta. Well, it kind of all played into itself and all played into one, because it was true that this designer had Justin Simmons' number already engraved, as you can see here, into the jacket. So Justin Simmons, I guess, had made up his mind to want to be a Falcon early that day. I mean, people saw the picture with the 2 time clocks at the bottom of the picture. I think he posted it on Instagram. But to see now that, Justin Simmons, believes in the dream, right? Believes in the vision of what we got here in Atlanta. And we kept talking about it from time to time, not every episode, about why is Justin Simmons still a free agent? How come nobody's went to go get him yet? All these teams out there that can use a talented player like Justin Simmons on and off the field. Why not go get him? It was just weird to see that nobody wanted to go get him. And then the Saints. Matter of fact, this is a slap in the face to the Saints. And I got to give a big shout out to the Falcons. The Falcons, and this could be happening behind the scenes, but we didn't see it, right? We didn't see it. The Falcons went through the summer, right? They went through the camp, went through mini camp, free agency, brought in some players, made some moves, tried to make, the best 90 man to go out there for preseason. We didn't hear nothing about Justin Simmons. Matter of fact, we didn't hear nothing about Matthew Judon. So big shout out to Matthew Judon too as well. Big shout out to everybody who makes these deals. But we didn't hear nothing about Justin Simmons, Falcon fans. And then the week came where the Saints decided to bring Justin Simmons in for a visit. And then shortly after, Terry brought Justin Simmons in for a visit and didn't let Justin leave. The decision from Justin Simmons was going to be down to the Saints and the Falcons. But still, this slap in the face goes from the Falcons to the Saints on this one, because we went through the whole summer and didn't mention nothing about Justin Simmons. As soon as the Saints go bring him in for a visit, Terry got him on the horn. Yes, DeMarco Hellum's injury might have played a factor. I understand. But still, there were fans that were talking about, why is Richie Grant on this team? There was fans that was talking about, outside of, those 3 safeties, is it Michael Abernathy? Is it Dan Krishnick? Who could it be? Fans kept calling for Justin Simmons. I seen a lot of the posts. Seen a lot of the chats. But to see the Falcons go after Justin Simmons at a time when the Aints had brought him in the same week for their visit, and then Aints fans just went wild on social media that they couldn't land Justin Simmons and that he's here in Atlanta. That's a big slap in the face. Now, just imagine if that was us Falcon fans, if we would have brought Justin Simmons in for the workout, and then he goes to New Orleans, and then the Saints sign him. They would have been calling, you don't want to play for Atlanta. Baby. Woody. He don't want to play for Atlanta. But now we get to return that favor by slapping him in the face by he didn't want to play for New Orleans. Simple. You see it right there. Falcon fans in the chat talking Falcons football. Your boy Deezy said, "What's up, Jack? Man, you had bench warmers yesterday." Big shout out to your boy Deezy, man. Big shout out to a lot of Falcon fans that was there at the content creator meetup. It's great to see people put on their jerseys and talk Falcons football or go watch a Falcon game, or just hang out during the off season. That's the cool part about it, right? Just Falcon fans just chilling, enjoying the summer. Jeremiah Weems, what is Justin Simmons' jersey number? Does Justin Simmons go with? It was a 31, right? Yeah, 31. Falcon fans in the chat. William Amy, game time tickets low. I have never even purchased some game time tickets, bro. I can't even tell you. If y'all trust it, that's good. I've heard that some of the other websites outside of Ticketmaster, StubHub, I forget the other one, but some people had ordered from Vivid Seats in the past. I've heard stories that they've got to the event and it's like duplicate tickets. I guess I don't know if when the company sells the ticket and they don't take it off the line, and then somebody goes in there and buys the ticket again, and then they pull it offline, and the barcode has been sent out to both tickets. But most of the time, people end up in the stadium, though. The tickets work for both tickets, but when you get to the seat, you see somebody sitting in your seat, and it's a duplicate ticket. I've heard that, and I'm not throwing shade at Vivid Seats and everybody, so don't tag them. But I've heard from people, that have purchased away from Ticketmaster and StubHub at like TickPick and certain things that they've had those problems. Then again, they could have had those problems with Ticketmaster too. I've never had those problems. I had a situation where I had a Bears fan sitting in my damn seat, and he didn't want to get up when I was in Chicago, and that was a ridiculous day too as well, because this fan for the Bears decides that he just wants to be an asshole all day. So I'm glad second half the real fans showed up to their seats to come take back their seats. Because when I got to the seat, I was on row one, and I walk over there, and the Bears fan sitting in the seat, and I said, "Hey, this is my seat right here. Right, got me and my wife with me." And he got him and his girl with him, and they're already drunk. They're already going through it. So he turns to me and says, "Yeah, this might be your seats, but could you sit here? Could you sit here today?" What? What'd you say? What'd you just say? He said, "Could you sit here today?" He points to the seats behind him. "Could you sit here today?" I'm thinking it's just a joke. Lavish. What's going on? This guy's like, "Nah, could you just sit here?" I was like, "No, man, get out my seat." Now I'm getting to the point where the second time it was like, "Nah, there's no laughing." I'm like, "Get out my seat." And he goes and he sits in the seats behind me. And of course, I bring my flag with me. I had that big brotherhood flag long time. I got the Rise Up Tour flag here. So in that situation, I'm over there waving the flag. I'm going ham on the wall right there, Falcons near their sideline. And of course, I have the flag, so I got to fold it up from time to time, and I'm trying to hold on to it. But there's a wall in front of me. Remember, I'm on the wall. So I look to the right, and I see this liquid coming down the stairs, right? And I'm like, "What the hell is this?" And of course, I'm on the wall, so the liquid is trapping up in front of me. So I turn around, I look back at Buddy. He has the beer can. This is the beer can. He has the beer. He's tipping the beer over. He's pouring it out. He's looking me dead in the eye. He's pouring it out on the stairs so that way the beer can trap in front of me on the wall. This is all within a 5-minute span. The game hasn't even started yet. So don't forget, I'm in Chicago now, and I'm like, shit. It's going to be one of those days, huh? Somebody's going to get kicked out this damn stadium. So The whole time he's talking shit, sitting behind me, all this. And I'm like, yo, buddy, like XYZ. So, you'll get those moments where, you'll have problems. But that's just my little away game rant I had to do. But yeah, Falcon fans, this is it's great to have this team. It's great to have, Raheem Morris, what Terry's doing. I think the next big news we might hear is Terry's extension. Because don't forget, this is going into that 4-year little contract he had. I believe it was with him and Arthur Smith at that time too as well. They both got signed to that same deal. Arthur Smith didn't make it to the end of his term, but I think right now that could be a move that could be made real soon, that Terry would be here till like 2027, 2028, which means Super Bowl's coming. So I called Super Bowl before 2027. A lot of the fans that know me said, Jack, you might be onto something. No, I'm really calling it. Before 2027, I think we get the Super Bowl. It's way too much talent. It's like that 2016 year with Julio on them, right? With Matt and them, right? That team couldn't get it done, but you saw the talent that you knew that they can get to that level. They knew that they can reach that goal. I see it with this team. I see it with Kirk, with the addition of Matthew Judon and Justin Simmons. Oh, I really see it now. Now you have a defense that on, playoff situations you can trust, right? Falcon fans were hoping for a pass rusher, begging for a better safety because y'all pretty much gave up on Richie. But Falcon fans, I mean, you got something good here. Falcons, Ravens, I saw a lot from Natron Brooks. I think the quarterback play outside of Michael Penix and Kirk Cousins needs to be worked on too as well. Low scoring game. A lot of Falcon fans in attendance too as well. So I saw a lot of Falcon fans travel to Baltimore for that. Chase McClendon looks good. Natron Brooks too as well looks good. I got Natron Brooks probably on my 53 right now. But Younghoe Koo. Now, I know some people are blowing up about Koo, about missing the field goals, about missing, having a not so good performance yesterday. But let's just give Koo a shot here. I know we were worried about the pass rush. Raheem and them fixed the pass rush. I know we were worried about that receiver room. Raheem and them came in there and fixed the receiver room. We were worried about the quarterback room. Raheem and them came in there and fixed that. Worried about the safeties. They came in there and fixed that. If Koo is what you're worried about, best believe before week 1, Raheem's going to fix that too. Could be a new holder. Could be a new technique they're working on. See some people report that. So, I hope Koo is not dealing with that. Now, if he goes into Friday's game and misses 4 field goals, what do y'all want to talk about on the show Sunday night? Because it's like, I know what fans are going to say, right? You guys saw a team fight, team be competitive as possible yesterday against the Ravens, but the Koo situation had fans hot. They were fans heated. Some fans said they don't care about no new holder, new placement, they said, I don't care. This guy's a veteran. You're missing kicks from inside the 40. Like, come on. So we'll see. William Amy, he said, Ben gave up on Richie after that Arizona game. That was a tough one, man. Then to hear the comments from, who was that? The tight end from Arizona. I can't remember his name. McBride, was it? Telling Kyler Murray, yeah, just throw the ball. I got him. He's easily can take care of Richie. Like he ain't got to worry about Richie. I was like, who is this guy? Jeff Wolf is in the chat, said, cool, will be fine. Hey, you know me, Jeff. I'm all cool. Yeah, no problem with it. But I know some fans are just concerned about, you're fixing a lot of these things. And then, wait, the kicker just missed 3 field goals? Now we got something else to worry about. Now, if he misses 5 field goals, it's time to have a competition. If they sign a kicker this week, then what? Could be still competition. Could be something to go in there and shake them up a little bit. But some fans saw those kicks yesterday and said, no. There's gonna be some games we're gonna need to win. Matter of fact, this is the situation when you have a fan base like the Falcons. If we get down to a situation where we have to make the kick to win the game and Koo misses the kick, they're gonna bring up that preseason game when he missed those 3 kicks. Because he missed those 3 kicks in the preseason game. If he would have did that shit at practice, you'll probably just say, "Oh, whatever." I can't remember it. But in a preseason game, you're gonna remember those missed 3 kicks every time he misses a kick this season. If he does, I hope he doesn't. But if he does, you're going to remember that and say, "Yeah, he was doing that shit in preseason." That's how fans talk. Not all fans, just some. But hey, man, we're here talking Falcons football. Miss more kicks, we're going for 2. Shit, put me in the game, Jeff Wolf. If you're going for 2, put me in the game. Carl Thomas said he can't make a deep run without a good kicker, so we better hope Koo gets gets it together. You saw that kicker from, what was it, Dallas? Made a 66-yarder and still had room to probably clear 70. Y'all talking about Koo. Dude just kicked 70 yards. I want to take a look at that. If he gets cut, nah, no shot to Koo. Koo's done great things here in Atlanta. I think he'll be ready to go by week 1. You know, that is something that, of course, if Koo knows is a problem, I'm sure Koo's trying to fix it. Us talking about here on One Time for the Fan, it does bring awareness to the chat of people that don't know about it or people that's, concerned about it. I think Koo's going to go out there tomorrow morning and he's going to be out there bright and early making field goals. And that'll probably be one of the things that's reported this week too as well, that Koo is out there hitting field goals. So we'll see. Michael, Koo missed extra points last year too. That is true. Let us not forget. He did win some games in the past too as well. Got a strong leg, man. Got a strong leg. Plus where he's came from too as well. His background of, getting to the NFL and where he is now with the Atlanta Falcons. That's cool. Oh, God, not these 2 players. They're showing Cam Jordan on the screen. Josh Gilliam. Them folks stole Koo's shoes and took his powers like Space Jam. Shit! Let's go ahead and get the wow. Koo's shoes and his powers like Space Jam. Shit! Who bag is that? That ain't mine. Sheesh. Jeff Wolf is in the chat. We just signed Koo to a long-term deal. He will be fine. I'm good. There's never a concern with me, Jeff Wolf. I show up home games, away games, practice, Publix turkey signings. Don't matter what it is. I will be there. Have no problem. Falcons fans in the chat, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. Tell your Falcons friends, tell your Falcons family. Let's get to some of the highest graded Falcons from yesterday before we go ahead and start wrapping up this show here. At the top, we got my boy Chris Blair coming in at 91.9. Natron Brooks coming in at 89.6. JD Bertram, Captain America looking ass, came in here at 88.4. Jesse Matthews, who I kept hearing his name a lot. I was listening to 92.9 for most of the game. I was taking care of some stuff early. But hearing Jesse Matthews' name called a lot is something to watch for too as well. Could be a practice squad guy. Barry Wesley too as well. Our offensive line, they're still fighting. You see your starters. Well, there has to be some depth too as well. And right now they're trying to build that depth chart up. And Barry Wesley, his name's being called in the positive percentage here for the highest graded Falcons versus the Ravens. Big shout out to all the Falcon fans in the chat. Once again, man, One Time for the Fan, we thank you all for being here tonight. Oh, let me go ahead and get to this because I'm sure I want to hear about some away game stuff. Yep. Oh, Falcon fans, look. If you're on Instagram, go over to One Time for the Fan. Hit that follow button. We just created the Instagram page recently. There's going to be a lot of exclusive stuff. And I'm sure you guys saw it from the practice the other day with the players and everything that we was talking to. We posted some of the videos and the pictures. There's a lot of exclusive stuff that we're going to be doing. That's not going to be on YouTube. It's not going to be on Facebook. It's not going to be on X or Twitter, whatever that shit is. It's going to be on Instagram. So you want to go ahead and follow the Instagram page. The away games, the events, what goes on behind the scenes. Well, of course, not only One Time for the Fan, but at the games, seeing the fan base, a lot of things you can't see. Because there's a lot of times where people go, on Twitter and social media, and they try to look for videos of the game and videos of the fans and videos of what's going on, and they can never find it. right? It's like 1 or 2 videos that may go viral and you can share that. But you might looking for like other stuff. Like you might see something at 300 level, something at 200 level, something at 100 level, something on the field, something over here. Like go follow One Time for the Fan on Instagram. We'll definitely be posting a lot of content that is exclusive to everybody who follows the channel over there. Because the better way to show it is to just let it be shown on Instagram. I don't even need to be talking about it. I guarantee y'all would like what you see. For fans that's already on the Instagram page, you guys saw a lot at practice the other day. He was right there with Eddie Goldman. He was right there with Clark Phillips, Rishi Grant too as well. Behind the scenes of the fans hanging out, having a good time, talking amongst other fans. They had some drinks going too as well. But this is what it's about. People just having a good time, right? So head on over to Instagram, One Time for the Fan. We got a Jaguars fan in the chat. I know y'all probably sitting here like, who's that talking about rap this shit? He's a Jaguars fan. He's here because the Falcons play the Jaguars this Friday. He said, boy, you sound sleepy. Nah, man, I was just, I was having some drinks earlier, and then yesterday I was out there dealing with football. So I was out there, yelling and screaming pretty much at a lot that was going on. So I'm just trying to get back. Plus, this week's going to be crazy, too, as well. We're going to be at the game Friday. Smooth C said done and followed. Hey, big shout to everybody going to Instagram to follow the One Time for the Fan page. We'll be posting a lot this year. A lot of the away game events and stuff that we do. Some fans can't make it to this stuff. There's fans in the chat that can't make it to the home game against the Steelers, right? You can't make it to the away game in Philly, right? You can't make it to Vegas. Follow the Instagram page. You're gonna see all that. Every home game, we're there. I'm a season ticket holder. I'm there at every game. And the seats that I got, y'all really gonna love. So y'all gonna be like, oh shit, I really see everything. So big shout out to everybody who's gonna be following the channel. We're gonna be posting a lot for you all. And I'm working on something in Philly. We're gonna see how that Philly fan base is. You're not gonna see it on Facebook. You're not gonna see it on Twitter. You're gonna see it on Instagram. We're gonna show y'all how Philly fan base is on the Instagram page. So make sure you go over there. Cool C is in the chat. One time, big shout out to Cool C in the chat. Cool C, head on over to Instagram. Follow the Instagram page. One Time for the Fan. Of course, Falcons, Jags this Friday. We'll have some footage for you on that. And then we have Falcons Steelers, Falcons Eagles, Falcons Chiefs. We have some really cool stuff we'll be posting on our Instagram page. So head on over there. Hit that follow button. As soon as you can, Falcon fans. Getting ready to pull up this. Hold on. Oh shit! I'm about to say, getting ready to pull up this information here. Spencer Rattler's in the game. God, he looks like Desmond Ridder. 49ers playing like poo. Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Let's get straight to it. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. There we go. Falcon fans, Falcon fans, Falcon fans. We have a bus trip coming up to Carolina. So if you want to hit the road, get on the bus. You can bring your own bottle, your own drinks if you want. No fans been asking me, hey, can we bring our own bottle? If you want to. But it's a day trip. Heading out to Carolina to go smack up the Carolina Panthers. Now, you have to go purchase your game tickets on your own, so we can't control that. But if you want to get a ride there, if you want to get a ride back, we have it right here for you. The Rise Up Tour Fan Club bus trip to Carolina. It's October 13th, right? Price is $100 per person. You can sign up at the riseuptourfanclub.com/Carolina. That deadline's coming up, and we will extend the deadline after that, but it'll be more than $100. But our bus trips are pretty cool, man. Falcon fans love just getting a quick ride up there, go to the game, enjoy the good times with, friends and family that they might know in the Carolina area. And then they come back to Atlanta safe and sound, and they get ready for another trip because that's what we do here with the Rise Up Tour Fan Club. So if you want to head up to Carolina, you can see right there we have the bus trip available for you all. And the information is also right there on the flyer. Also, we're going to Tampa Bay too as well, the Rise Up Tour Fan Club. We go to every city, right? So don't never ask, hey, y'all going here? Y'all going here? Yeah. Yeah, we're going there. Matter of fact, you can ask me about next season. Are you going to New England? Yes. Are you going to San Fran? Yes. Are you going to Green Bay? Yes. Are you going to Arizona? Yes. You don't have to ask me. I'm going to be there. But Falcon fans, we just love doing this for the fan base. Rise Up Tour Fan Club. We have a bus trip to Tampa. That's like 2 weeks after having the bus trip to Carolina. And that's on my birthday too as well. So we're going to party hard down there in Tampa. We always put on events for Falcon fans too as well. On my birthday, we're having a party. Man, it feels so good. But the bus trip to Tampa is going down. Catch it. Go. Get him. Stiff on him. Damn. Bus trip to Tampa is going down October 26th. Probably depart about 7:30, 8 in the morning. Get down to Tampa pretty early. Got to make that Bucky stop too as well. $150 per person. Deadline is September 1st. You can head over to the riseuptourfanclub.com/Tampa. Now, if you want to head down there and you want to stay at the hotel where all the Falcon fans from our group will be staying, it's the 4 Points by Sheraton Suites, Tampa Airport, West Shore. Not too far from the stadium. Good pricing on the rates for the rooms too as well. You won't be able to get the Rise Up Tour fan club rate because we're a fan club, so we kind of do things differently with the host hotels. But if you want to stay there, it's the host hotel, 4 Points by Sheraton Suites, Tampa. Oh man, what else do we got? Falcon fans are in the chat. I know y'all feeling good. Y'all seeing the trips that we're posting here for the Rise Up Tour Fan Club. Man. Georgia fans, Bama fans. I know most of y'all are trying to head down there to that game to go see Georgia slap up Alabama by at least 50 burger. That's what I'm talking about. Well, guess what, Falcon fans? We have it right here. Georgia versus Alabama bus trip. It's going down in a major way. Now, yes, there is a tailgate out there too as well. Tailgate Party Committee has a tailgate set up. So if you want to go down there and just tailgate, there is a tailgate set up, and we'll have information for you as well on that. But it's $65 a person, y'all. Sign up at www.dogsbamabustrip.com. You see the telephone number right there. The buses, man, you got a lot of. I heard there's an LSU fan on the bus. Don't know why the LSU fan wants to go down there, but we'll find out. Georgia Bulldogs versus Alabama is a bus trip there and back. There and back. That's it. If you have the tickets to the game, you can go into the game. If you don't have tickets to the game, you could tailgate, you could party, you could walk around over there by the stadium and go find a bar or somewhere to watch the game. But the vibe, the energy, catch it. Oh, the vibe, the energy, everything's going to be crazy down there that weekend. That's kind of like a Super Bowl game in the regular season, right? It's like the national championship game damn near in week 3, right? So Georgia, Alabama is going to be a good time down there in Tuscaloosa. So the information's on the screen. I know you see it. I know you see it. Face ass. But for those that's trying to head down to Nolans, trying to go eat some crawfish. Is that Pastor Troy? Wait, is that Pastor Troy on our second car that we just booked again? The first car is sold out. The train ride to New Orleans. The first car is sold out. We got heavy demand. People was like, yo, no. First car can't sell out. 55 seats already sold out on the train ride to New Orleans. That was the first car. We had a waiting list. The waiting list kept growing. Our boy Troy was like, yo, I'm trying to go down too. I'm on that train too. Troy's on there. So whoever's on that cart, I don't know. Well, you can still mingle between the two carts. If you're in cart like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you can't come to cart 2 and 1. Cart 1 and 2, they're private carts. So that's when we talk about parties, like how we do these events, how we do these things. Like we try to make sure fans have a good time. The first train is sold out. 55 people is already on that train. Now we're getting ready to get another group of fans heading down to New Orleans. And you can see the information on the screen right there. If you want to head out on that train ride to New Orleans, November 8th is $60 per person. $60 can get me to New Orleans, and y'all partying on the train with Troy? Wait, y'all got alcohol too? You can bring your own alcohol if you want to. Don't tell nobody I told you. Well, if you're doing it like how fans do it, gotta do it big. Sign up right here at the bottom. RiseUpTourFanClub.com/train. Big shout out to PT too, man. It's gonna be a rocking good time for those that know how we get down with the fan club. Well, we really have a good time. So everybody's gonna be enjoying that too as well. And then when y'all get to Vegas, we'll try to find things to take y'all away from the casino. We have the party bus to the Hoover Dam, right? So if you want to head out to the Hoover Dam when you get to Vegas, we have the party bus that's heading up there. We might even get 2 party buses because right now I think the first one is almost full, right? So in that situation, we're gonna have to, try to get a second bus. But there's a lot of Falcon fans who definitely enjoy these trips, and they give us a lot of suggestions of what to do, and how we go and put this stuff out, and the fans have been so supportive of it. So we do the best we can of making sure everybody's having a good time. But the party bus to the Hoover Dam, it's going down in a major way. Now, Falcon fans, you're going to be in Vegas. You're going to be having a good time. You're going to be like, damn, where are all the Falcon fans at? It's the night before the game. Well, there they go. They're going to be right over here. The Rise Up Tour Fan Club presents the ATL Takeover in Las Vegas. If you've been to our parties before in the past, I would advise you to get here early. So you can see all the information is here on the screen. But yes, if you're in Vegas, we already have everything situated. So make sure you come on out. You have a good time. We have a lot of fans that's already bought a lot of tickets. The pregame tickets, the presale tickets went fast, right? So we put it out to the fan club. The fan club members just started grabbing up tickets for their friends, for their family. I had one person purchase 24 tickets. One person. They're a group that's coming to Vegas for that game. There's 24 people in that group. And I'm sure there's probably a lot more people now if I look at the report. So Falcon fans, if you're heading out to Vegas, there it is right there, y'all. It's going down in a major way. So I want fans to enjoy this season. I want fans to have a good time. But of course, with the Rise Up Tour Fan Club, we do a lot when it comes to these events, making sure people has a good time at away games. We're not chaperoning you. We're not babysitting you. Y'all are grown, right? But we do put on a lot of things for fans to do and for them to just enjoy themselves outside of the game. Now, when the game starts, y'all do whatever y'all want. Now, we do have our halftime photo meetup, which I'm sure y'all probably seen in the past where, we have like 500-600 fans meet up in one hallway and we start making a shit ton of noise. So, yes, we do these type of things. So, Falcon fans, if you want to be a part of that this year, get the Rise Up Tour Fan Club. We're all over social media. So, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Or you can just send me a message, Jack Spade on Facebook. Of course, one time for the fan right here in the chat. You can drop your email in the chat. I'll reach out to you. Because this is a live podcast, so it doesn't let me go back and comment underneath it. So if you want to drop your email or, just add me on Facebook or whatever. Matter of fact, let me just go because somebody kept saying they couldn't even find me on Facebook. So make sure y'all see that. But yeah, you can send me a friend request. We can chop it up about the fan club. We can chop it up about, one time for the fan. However, so Falcon fans, it's been great talking Falcons football with you all tonight. The team looks good going against the Jags this week. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people tuned in for that game because, we want to beat the Jags. That's number one. But we want these players to finish healthy. We want to get this 53-man roster set up the following Tuesday so we can get out there and go beat the Steelers. This season's going to be great, Falcon fans. I'm probably holding in all the excitement right now because during the season, it's going to be great to say that, hey, we beat this team. We beat this team. We're in this direction. We're 3 games ahead in first place. It's going to be great to talk about that, right? So just be prepared for what we got here at One Time for the Fan. Big shout out to everybody. Big shout out to all the Falcon fans, Falcons family. Big shout out to my family too as well. Damn, come on, man. And referees over here pulling for the Aints. Big shout out to everybody that's been supporting One Time for the Fan. We'll be back Wednesday night, 8 p.m., talking Falcons football. Might even have a special guest. But I thank you all for being here, and rise up to everybody repping the Atlanta Falcons.